This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, Agun Erev Shabbos Rabbi as we prepare for Shabbos, Parshas, Vayeishev, Erev Chanukah. Rabbi Yosef Engel writes in a number of places that the power and the koyach and the shirish of an upcoming Yom Tov is latent in the Shabbos before, because all the Zohar says all the brachos of the week are nichlal in the Shabbos. So this Shabbos, Parshas Vayeishev, has in it the kedusha already of Chanukah, because Chanukah is in the upcoming week. So we want to look at the Parsha a little bit and see perhaps there is a remez in this week's Parsha to Chanukah. After all, this Shabbos is the Shabbos that encapsulates the Kedusha of Chanukah. So I want to bring to your attention a number of items. Now, if a superficial learning of Parshas Vayeishev, and this is something we learned in the past, is that Yosef had how many dreams? 2 dreams. First, he dreams about the bundles, that he's gathering bundles in the field, and his bundle stands up, and the other bundles bows down to his bundle. And then he has another dream. In the other dream, Hashemesh, V'hayareach, and the 11 stars bow down to Yosef. Those are the 2 dreams. It would seem, after learning the Parsha, the kids bring home their coloring books and their pictures. Yosef had 2 dreams. However, that is not true. Okay? Vayachaloim Yosef chaloim. Yosef had a dream. I had a dream. Vayagid le'echav. And he told his brothers. Vayosifu oid snayosai. And they hated him more. I have one simple question for you. At this point in time, did Yosef tell the brothers his dream yet? Yeah, it says he told them the dream. The answer is yes. And they hated him. So then, Vayomer alehem shimunach aleim hazeh asher chalamti. But he already told them the dream. It seems like there's another dream. One of them it doesn't say. Now this dream it says, V'hinei anachnu ma'alumim b'soich hasadeh v'hinei kama alumasi v'gam nitzava v'hinei sisu ben aluma oisechem v'atishtachavenu alumasi. Then, so Yosef so far had how many dreams? 2 dreams. So far 2 dreams. Then the Parsha continues, and the Parsha says, Vayomer lo yachav hamaloich timloich chaleinu mashotim shabanu Vayosifu oid sinoyosai, and they hated him more, al chaloimoisav, for his dreams. How many dreams are in dreams? At least 2. But we only said 1 dream so far. Again, another raya. He must have had 2 dreams. Then it says, Vayachaloi moed, chaloi macher, vayisav v'sechav, vayomer yinei chalamti chaloi moed, v'hinei Hashem shayarech, v'chaloi. Fine. So apparently, the simple reading of the Parsha, Yosef had 3 dreams. 1 we don't know about, 2 we do know about it. Now, I would never say this on my own, but the Bar Tanura, Rabbi Vayeishev Bar Tanura, wrote a parish on Chumash called Amar Nekeh. And he says, Tzarech liyashev, ma haya hachaloim hazeh, when it says, Vayachaloim Yosef chaloim. Vayaged liyachav, Vayosifu oid sinayosai. She'im loymar, don't say shahaya hachaloim echaloim, it said it was one of the 2 dreams. She'im kein loy havalei lomeimar, Vayosifu oid sinayosai. It shouldn't have said after this comment they hated him, because he didn't say it to them yet. Rak hoya loy loymar, Vayaged le'echav, leimar. But it says Vayaged le'echav, Vayosifu oid sinayosai. And then Vayomer. If it was all 1 dream, it should say Vayaged le'echav, leimar. And then Vayosifu oid sinayosai after the whole thing. Because after the first dream, it already says Vayosifu oid snayosai. So why would they hate him twice? It says Vayosifu oid snayosai, and then after the relating of the dream, it says Vayosifu oid snayosai al chaloi moisav. Va'oid, says the Bar Tanura, she'ilu haya oisei chaloim levadai. If that was the only dream, it should not have said chaloi moisav. So therefore, the Amar Nekeh concludes very conclusively and very decisively that there must have been another undisclosed dream. And this whole piece, Rabbi says, is mamish matana Hashem gave me min Hashem. It's unbelievable. Says the Bar Tanura, I'll tell you what the 3rd dream was. In Parshas Vayechi, after the death of Yaakov, and the embalming of Yaakov, and the mourning of Yaakov, the brothers came back to Egypt, and they were schwitzen. Because they figured, now that Yaakov's dead, Yosef's going to get his recompense, Yosef's going to get his revenge. So Yosef began to console the brothers. If you look in Parshas Vayechi, Perek Nun, Pasuk Chaf Aleph. Nun, Chaf Aleph. No, probably Mem Tes, Chaf Aleph. No? Let's just find it. Oh, yeah, Nun Chaf. V'atal tiro, don't be afraid. Vayenachem Yosef. He consoled them. Vayedaber alibam, Yosef spoke to their hearts. Now, what did Yosef tell the brothers? Says the Gemara Megillah. Vayenachem, look at number 4 for a moment. Vayedaber alibam, Amar Rabbi Binyamin bar Yefes, Amar Rabbi Lazar, Melamed she'amar lahem dvarim shemiskablen al halev. Yosef told them reasonable things that they could accept. Uma asara neiros lo yachlu lechabes ner echad. If 10 candles couldn't put out one candle. Now what's that talking about? If when I was under your domain, under your auspices, and you tried to kill me, the 10 of you couldn't knock me out. So now all 10 of you are in my auspices, under my domain. No way, one candle will knock you out. Ner echad, hech yachal lechabes asara neiros. That's the Gemara. Rashi says in Parshas Vayechi, he says, Davar acher, asara neiros lo yuchal lechabes ner echad. He told them, when 10 of you couldn't put me out, I can't put you out. Says the holy Bartanura, where did Yosef get this analogy? Why did Yosef say, if 10 candles can't put out one candle can't put out 10? Why didn't Yosef say, if 10 bears can't put out one bear can eat 10 bear? If 10 lions couldn't kill one lion can't. Yosef could have given a million analogies. Where did he get the analogy of a candle from? Says the Bartanura, you know where he got it from? That was his first dream. The first dream of Yosef in this week's Parsha is he saw 10 candles not put out one candle. 10 candles tried to put out one candle and they couldn't. So right off the bat we say, oh, amazing, we have a remes to Chanukah and Parshas Vayeishev, because the first undisclosed dream that's not mentioned is a dream about Neiros. So it's mamish a beautiful remes to Chanukah. We didn't even get started yet. Okay? But it is beautiful, but this is just the beginning. It's much better. It's mamish ayim v'noira. This is ayim v'noira. Okay, so now the question is, so why didn't the Torah talk about the dream? It should have said the dream. Yeah? So the Bartanur says very simply, you know why the Torah doesn't say the dream? Because when Yosef told them the dream, it didn't really get under their skin. Because what's he telling them? The 10 of you can't harm me. A groisa gadol. Fine. Imagine you're 10 brothers, and Yosef's telling you the dreams he's having that you guys can't kill me. Fine, no problem. You know, why did they hate him more for that? Then? You dropped your mic. It didn't try you. It tried so in other words, if Yosef is telling them that the 10 of you can't harm me, that didn't bother the brothers that deeply. They didn't like it. Basically, what's he doing? He's saying, ha ha ha, you can't hurt me. Fine, so they didn't like it, but it didn't really echo them that much, because he's not having grandiose dreams of becoming the king, of dominating them. He's not having illusions of domination. But once he's having a dream that the bundles are bowing down to him, so they said, get out of here. The Torah is only recording the dreams that really got under their skin.
Why does it say after the first dream by Yosef?
They hated him. Imagine he's inciting them. He's writing them on. He's bothering them. He's inciting them. But
they hated him.
They hated him. But he's. One second. It doesn't bother them. The answer is because he's saying he's having dreams that he's invincible. So they didn't like it. They didn't like his dreams of invincibility. But it didn't really bother them as much as the other dreams. So look in the Bartanur. Venerally, Shachaloim Harishain Hayamasha Amar Rashi b'Sayv Parshas Vayechi Asar Neros LaYachol Lechabes Ner Echad Koloimar Shelo Yachol LaHazikai V'Zeh Hachaloim LaYchashash HaKaz LaYtziai Ki Mizeh LaYamru Davar. This, he didn't say anything. What's he saying? Rakshasanu Oisai. He's just saying, you can't kill me, so he's having a dream that you guys hate me. Yeah, no kidding, we hate you. So the Torah didn't record that. Avo, when he said, you're going to bow down to me, and I'm going to be the Melech, and the sun and the moon, then the Torah records it. So here we have beautifully, incredibly, people learn Parshas Vayeishev, and they say, what does Vayeishev got to do with Hanukkah? The answer is you have to look very carefully. There's an undisclosed dream in the beginning of the Parsha, and it's a dream about Neros. But let's take this a little further. Because how many Neros Hanukkah are there?
44.
We know there are two ways of calculating it. Without the Shamash, with the Shamash. Without the Shamash, it's Lamed Vav. With the Shamash, it's Mem Dalet. Look in the Matei Moshe. The Matei Moshe, Talmud Marshal writes, Amar Maram Rutenberg says, all the Hanukkah parties are just parties. They're all limited to zero value. They have no value. People get together, they eat round things that jeopardize their health and well-being, and they eat things that round things, whether it's filled with sugar that spikes your acid levels, or whether it's full of cholesterol. People are moiser nefesh v'mekayim minhagei Yisrael at the risk of sakanas nefashos. My father once told me this is what it means in Aner Salalu: Ein lecha rishus l'shtamish b'hem elo l'roisam bilvad. So anyway. So anyway, the Marami Rotenberg says that these days are kavu lahalel ulahoidos, right? Now, but he brings that Moiri, the Marshal writes, it's a mitzvah to be besimcha, and that's why it's called a Yom Tif. And the Rambam Paskins, it's a mitzvah of simcha. Says the Matei Moshe, I found Hagos Mordechai that there's a remez ktsas to the mitzvah. And what is the remez? The mitzvah is utevayach tevach v'hachein. In Parshas Miketz, utevayach tevach v'hachein. Take the ches of tevach, put it together with v'hachein, you get what? Right? Utevayach tevach v'hachein. Ches, vav, hey, chaf, nun is Chanukah. This is a remez to the sudos of Chanukah. And tevayach tevach is gematria mem daled. How's that? Tevach is 19. Tavayach with the Vav is 25. 19, 25 is 44. Here we have it. How many candles on Hanukkah? 44. We would have thought, no, only 36 has meaning, but the Rishonim already call 44 with the Shamash something of significance. Furthermore, the Chida writes in Parshas Tetzav in the Pnei David, V'yikchu elach Hashem and zay yizach kas l'zmar l'halos nar tamid. This is a remez to Chanukah b'Rashi Tevos. How? Every letter in this pasuk stands for Dinei Chanukah. Vav. Uvahashmid yivanim kavu Chanukah v'cholish la'yasar kol shmoni me'adlok as nera zera Yisrael tiyuz rizim kulchem kasher taliku yiyah tolu l'malam me'aneros or ubay ro l'mitzvah hamahajin asu lahadlik tadir neros tiena yachad. Mem daled. Now, basically, the Chida is saying every letter of this pasuk stands for another halacha. But what I'm getting at is, and how many neros are there? Also, he brings a number, mem daled, 44. Furthermore, what do we say on Chanukah? Mizmar, Shiur, Chanukas. What's the Rashi Tevos of Mizmar, Shiur, Chanukas? Mashach. Right? What is Mashach? Mila, Shabbos, Chodesh. That's what the Ivanim were geyser again. Therefore, they keneged Mila, Shabbos, and Chodesh are masakin Mashach to anoint with oil, to use oil for the Neros, which is a Mashach is Ramas to Mila, Shabbos, and Chodesh. And the Rashi Tevos says Mizmar, Shiur, Chanukas, Sabayis, LeDavid stands for LeSimcha, which is the Shechina, which is keneged Simcha. Okay. Also, La Mizmar Shiur Chanukas Habayis LeDavid is Oisios LeChamisha, the 5 sons of Matasyahu. Also, he concludes, how do I know that there are 44 neros of Chanukah? Mizmar Shiur Chanukas Habayis LeDavid. LeDavid is Gematria 44. So here we have it, there are 44 neros of Chanukah. In this week's Parsha, Rabbi say, we have an open remez to the 44 candles of Chanukah together with Yosef's dream. You ready for this? Yosef has an undisclosed dream. He tells the brothers what in this... First he sees in a dream, what does he see in his first dream? 10 candles can't put out 1 candle. How many candles so far? 11. Then he says it over to the brothers. 10 candles can't put out 1, that's 22. Then we go to Vayechi. Yosef says, I told you, if 10 candles can't put out one, that's 11, then one can't put out 10, 44 candles of Hanukkah. The 44 candles of Hanukkah. Even though if you just read the Torah, you completely miss it. You don't know not about the dream and not about the consolation. But if you dig a little further, Yosef tells the brothers, he sees 11 candles. Then he talks about 11 candles. And then Vayechi says, if 10 can't put out one, one can't put out a 10. This I already said over 9 years ago. Okay? No, 2012. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 8 years ago, yeah? Okay.
2012 was 7 years ago.
Said it in 2012.
I said in 2012.
N plus 1.
Yeah. Now, this is the addition. This consolation of Yosef, when he said, if 10 can't put out one, one can't put out 10, let's try to figure out when this took place. I can tell you Chasam Sofer now. Yaakov Avinu was mourned for how long?
22 years.
But none of there's
70 days. No?
70 days.
70
Yeah.
days.
Now listen to this. It says, I don't know who this guy is, but he's on the ball. Okay.
From Milwaukee.
From Milwaukee?
Yes, I'm from Milwaukee. Right?
Milwaukee has the best ballet kriya, right? So, listen to this. It says, "Vayimlu ulay arba'im yom, ki kein yimlu yemei hachanutim, vayivku oisay Mitzrayim shivim yom." So basically, they embalmed him for 40 days, and they cried for him for 30 days. We all know, or we're going to know now, that Yaakov passed away when? In Sukkot. Yaakov's yard site is Sukkot. Sukkot. What day? Tesvav Tishrei. Count 70 days from Tesvav Tishrei. Chafei Kislev. There's a very strong connection between Sukkot and Chanukah, and that is the days from Yaakov's Petira until his final his mourning concluded were the 70 days between Sukkot and Chanukah. Yaakov died on Sukkot. His Avilus was up on Chanukah. In fact, why is Chanukah 8 days? One of the reasons why Chanukah is 8 days is because if you look in Parshas Emor, right after listing all the Moyadim and listing Sukkot, it says Vayidaber Hashem as Moyadei Hashem of Bnei Yisrael, and then it says V'yikho Elach Hashem en Zayizach. There's a juxtaposition of the Menorah to Sukkot. The Rekeach writes, they therefore patterned Chanukah after Sukkot, just like Sukkot is 8 days and Halal Shalem, Chanukah is 8 days and Halal Shalem. By the way, if you look in the Sefer HaChashmonaim, the Maccabim decided to celebrate their victory by waving Aravos and Lulavim and Dalad Minim. They realized there was a connection between Sukkot and Chanukah. And one of the connections we see in Parshas Vayechi, Yaakov died on Sukkot and his Avelos was up on Chanukah. But I realized something else. Because based on that, it says that after the 70 days were over, the pasuk says, "V'chol beis Yosef Yaakov beis Aviv rak tapam v'tzaynam v'karam azvu b'yaretz Goshen v'yali moy gamrech gamrech kavin moed v'yavoyu ad goyren ha'atar asher b'eiver ha'yarden v'yispedu sham mispei gado v'chavin moed v'yas la'aviv evel shivas yomim." So now what day are we up to?
77.
7th day of Chanukah. Vayisu oisay vanav artsa Kanan vayikro oisay maras hamachpelah shekana Avram es hasadeh. When did they bury Yaakov?
Zois Chanukah?
Sounds like they buried him as Zois Chanukah. I never heard anybody say that. And then it comes out they returned to Mitzrayim, and on Zois Chanukah, the 44th candle, what does Yosef tell the brothers? If 10 can't put out one can't put out 10. So amazingly, the remez to the 44 Nerois is starting Vayeishev, which is the Shabbos before Chanukah, ending in the Torah Akdosha on the final day of Chanukah, on Zois Chanukah.
They made it from the Mars Pale back to Mitzrayim in one
You know, it's interesting because by all the other Zmanim, it gives you days. And upon the return, it doesn't say anything. We don't know how long it takes. So at least conceptually, this is brought in the day right after the 7th day of Chanukah, perhaps to be merames to the 44 Neros, on the last day of Chanukah, the 44th now. Rabbi say, Agun Shabbos and a Freilich in Chanukah.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.